We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Izzle on it, only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Tub with the OG like Flintstones, good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of In the Studio with Rob. I am Rob, and I'm with my man Izzle. What's going on, young fella?
Here, quick question. Why does it sound like you were unsure you were Rob?
I had to make sure, because I'm not the only Rob, but I am in the studio with Rob. But you are too, so it kind of confused me sometimes.
But you've been in the studio, in the studio Rob for how many episodes now?
It just happened, man. I'm 58 now.
Now you soul searching?
Sometimes
like 60 episodes in.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to, gotta think through things. That's all.
And your identity is one of them.
Yeah.
All right.
So I am who I am.
And are you though?
And the people, y'all know who I am, right? I'm Rob. That's me in the studio with me.
He's back.
So with that, and like I said, how you doing, young fella?
I am feeling good, feeling great. I've got hot cocoa in the studio.
Outstanding. We sharing a little hot cocoa and doing our thing as we're going to talk a little bit. I had a question for you though, man.
Yeah.
When was the last time you felt like you failed?
Ugh.
And I know I'm saying this to you, but it's kind of like, might not be the right person considering you're perfect.
Sure.
But if you could think of, and again, you don't have to kind of go into trying to figure out a failure, but can you just give me a time where you say, maybe about 2 years ago, a year?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll take the mask off.
Okay.
Let people behind the scenes.
Let them in.
So something I feel like I've often failed at is impulse control. Like sometimes I can be reactive and I know better than something that I'm about to do and I just don't care. I'm going to do it anyway for whatever reason. And sometimes I'm cool with it, but sometimes I'm like, I really wish I had more self-control and just like relaxed and chilled.
I understand that, man. And that makes sense. Which is cool. And the reason why I ask is because what we're going to talk about a little bit is about failure. Everybody fails sometimes. And some people more than others. Some of y'all fail all the time. But we all fail sometimes. And I think one of the things that we have to understand when we failing, or when there's a time, when something fails or when we fail, we have to understand, one, that it's just something that's going to happen. It's not an end all to be all. It's like, oh my God, the world is ending because I failed at this. One of the things, I'll talk a little about myself here in that, I always look at like my sisters, and when something goes wrong with them and either their husbands, whatever, and if there was a problem or something happened and I wasn't there to help them, or if I couldn't help them, I always feel like I failed in some way. Because, and again, it ain't my job to take care of them, I get that, but I just feel a sense of responsibility in some cases, and I feel like there are times where I wish I would have more, or I could have done more, or could have done something to prevent them from going through something they're going through. And for me, that's a failure. And it's one that I carry. And I have to, like if somebody calls, my sister or one of them call and say, hey, can I borrow this, or can you give me this, whatever. And if I don't have it at that moment or don't have it, it's like, I feel like, man, I let them down.
Yeah, I feel that.
And it's unfortunate. It'd be nice if they told me that I didn't let them down. If I didn't, they help brother out. Be like, nah, they was all good.
Well, thanks anyway, I guess.
Like, you so ball. Yeah, they can help brother out when you get that. You know, but that's so in my world a failure not to be able to help them out like that. You know, so but you know, I also have to remember that, you know, in failures or in even feeling like a failure, you know, there's seasons in our life, and God has seasons, and He's always had, you know, looked at life through seasons. And sometimes you're gonna have, sometimes you're not gonna have. Sometimes you're gonna be able to provide certain things to people. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you should, and sometimes you shouldn't. But it just depends on the season that you're in when you're going through, when people are going through, or when you're going through some things. But whatever that is, there is no failure that you can't come back from. And I think that's the one thing that I think a lot of people think when they fail, whether you get fired from your job because you didn't do a good job, or your marriage fails because you didn't communicate well, or whatever the cases may be, or maybe any relationship failed, or you look at your kids and be like, oh, I can't believe my child is going through this, and you may look at it as a parent as a failure on your part. But in reality, you can come back from all of those things. And the way we come back from those things is, one, we have to understand that it was an event. The failure was an event. The failure was not a life sentence. It's not indicative of who you are. It's not your identity. So if I fail at a certain thing, it doesn't mean that I am that thing that I failed at. You know.
I mean, but sometimes it is. So let's keep things in perspective, guys. Don't listen to this thinking, it's not me. No, because it might be. You might really be that failure.
The failure, the event that failed or whatever happened, that failure is what happened. That's not who you are.
Unless it is. Some people, again, there's a world. Unless it is. There's a couple different types of people out here. Some people keep drilling, but people
I talk to.
Okay,
that I'm speaking with, this is not you guys. You guys are not failures. This is not your identity. You failed. You failed to accomplish a goal. You failed to reach the peak. To be whatever it is or do whatever it is you thought you was trying to do or could do. Maybe it's time for you to just sit back, reevaluate how you went at it, and then tackle it again. Maybe it wasn't as much of I'm bad at this as much as it is that I did a bad job planning and executing the plan if I had one. So if you look at how you got to the failure, and you could make some correction, then you can overcome it. The problem we have, I think, is that too many of us dwell in the failure. It's like you keep beating yourself up over the head with the failure that you can't never come back from it. So how can I ever get to a place where I can, in my case, like I say, if I want to be able to help one of my sisters or, you know, be there for them, then at some point I need to either be closer or get my funds together where I can be there when they need me, you know. So that's something I can look at and say, okay, I couldn't do it this time, but if I work on some certain things, I'll be able to help them next time. So the event failed, but I'm not a failure because the next time I'll be able to answer the bell for them. Or if you look at it like, oh, I failed that class. Okay, you failed a class, but okay, now you know maybe you failed because you didn't study or you didn't pay attention in class. Or, you know, whatever. So if you
keep going.
So now what you have to do is go put in more work, study a little harder, pay more attention in class, take better notes, so that you're able to pass that class.
Or finally roll out everything before you accept.
So and again, if what's your parents' money on the class for? Maybe that class ain't for you. You need to get class for this. Yo, go spend a minute on one. Stop playing.
And your parents too. They will send you to that class. Way before you decided you wanted to do it.
Right now, I'm gonna blame this on mom and dad.
Everybody failed. They failed to know you was gonna be failing. And you got
It's not your fault. So
it's all your fault as a family. Y'all failed as a family. The Flanders are
so, but like I said, sometimes we have to look at the reasons why and make adjustments, make plans, plan better for. Look, I worked in a job for many years where I had to build programs, and when we start out trying to figure out, okay, when they give me a list of, okay, this is what we want. We want a program that does X, Y, and Z. Okay, so when I want to know how much money I got. I want to know how many people I got, or do I have to get the people? I need to know what IT people I can work with. So when you give me the basics, and then I go and build a plan to accomplish to get the program or the project off the ground, I may come back and you say, okay, I like this, and this, but I don't like this. I didn't fail because I didn't start working yet. I just gave you a plan, but I can adjust my plan based off of what you are hearing and seeing. In most cases, what people fail, what they'll fail to do is, one, come up with a plan, come up with an idea. What I found was interesting is the higher you, like when you deal with people higher up in the organization, whatever organization, the less they really know about how to get stuff done. They think, because one, they don't have to. They think big picture. They think, I need a big balloon. They don't know how the balloon going. They just know they need a big balloon. And in some cases, they don't even know what they want the big balloon to do. So my job is to not only come up with the big balloon, but also have a use for the big balloon. So that when I give it to them, they can be like, oh man, this is great. I love this big balloon. I didn't even know it could do that. Or I never even thought about that. But see, I'm building a plan. So that, and I'm building, and I'm working on, I'm letting my mind be free to come kind of explore some things. But I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to for them to say, I don't really like that. Come up with something else. Or, this is not quite what I like. Do something else. When you get to a place where you're afraid to fail, you're never going to succeed. You got to be willing to take a chance. You got to be willing to take a risk. To say, I'm going to jump out there and let my mind and my creativity take over. There's so many people that should be writing jingles and songs and different things, but they don't do it because they ain't taking that risk. They ain't really comfortable where they are, but they ain't really pushing it to go to the next level because they may have to come off of what they got.
What is happening right now?
Oh no, I'm just talking in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So sometimes you got to let your creativity take over, and you got to take a risk in order to get the highest goals you can get. And I just think that some of you will not ever reach your full potential because you're scared to fail. So if you can tell me, if somebody say, oh, I never fail, it's probably because they haven't done anything of consequences yet. It's like, what have you done to fail? I mean, you ain't do nothing. So it's like, I ain't never got divorced. That's because you ain't never married. Mm-hmm. I ain't never lost a woman. That's because you been living with your mama forever. So it's different. It's like, come on, man, y'all got to take a risk. In order for my heart to get broken, I had to give my heart to somebody. But prior to it being broken, I experienced a lot of love and joy and contentment in that relationship. Once it was broken, okay, I had to deal with that. But even that, I learned from it. There are certain things I need to do better, things I need to do less of, things I need to do more of. But I had to learn from all that. So yeah, it hurt. Failure hurts. Failure makes you lose some of your confidence. It does a lot of different things. But it can't stop you. It should only motivate you to do more. So when you fail, when you get to that place where you're like, I ain't sure what's going on here. I ain't sure which way to go. I ain't sure how to finish this. The first thing you do is go back. Go back to what you was trying to accomplish in the first place, and then rebuild your plan. Reorganize. Maybe you need some people in your circle that can help you build a better plan. Because maybe you trying to build your plan by yourself, but you don't have the expertise to do that. Like when I was building programs for my organization, I had a lot of people come into the room. We sit, we talk, we bounce ideas off of each other, because it wasn't about what I could come up with. It's about all of us working together. You may throw out one little thing and it'd be like, yo, that sparked this person, which in turn sparked another person. Now we got this great idea. But sometimes you have to put better people around you to help spark something in you so that you can reach the goals and get the outcome that you are desiring. So one, don't think this is always, I got to do it by myself. God didn't put us on this earth by ourselves. He put a lot of people on this planet, and some of those people are here to help you. Now, the problem is you got to make sure you understand which one's here to help and hurt. But you trying to do it all by yourself. You trying to go through this life all by yourself, and you keep failing, and you can't figure it out because you don't have the right people around you. You don't have the right information. You're not gaining the right information, or you don't have the right knowledge to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And most of the things that you want to do, somebody else has already done something similar to it, or even the same thing in some cases. But you won't ask them, how did they get there? How did you do that? What steps did you take? No, I'm going to figure this out by myself. Okay. Then you're going to keep failing by yourself. And then you will become a failure because you're not looking to improve or get better. You're just looking to keep doing the same thing over and over and keep failing. And then you say, well, it just ain't working out. Nah, it ain't working out because you're not thinking, bro. Listen, sis, you can't keep saying my relationships are failing and there's no change in you. If you don't make changes, you're not going to make better decisions. Whether that's the people you choose to hook up with, or in how you choose to treat people. So again, with the failure, it's like, yo, I should be learning from this. I shouldn't look at failure as, again, my identity. I should be looking at failure as, this is my learning tool. Every time I fail, I need to learn something from it. Every time something goes left for me, I need to learn something from it. See, most of us only want to learn from the good stuff, and it's hard to learn. I know, you heard I heard this one basketball coach. He said, the worst time to try to get your team better is after they won something, because they all feeling themselves. They ain't trying to hear you. But when they get their butt kicked, now all of a sudden it's like, yo, we listening. What we got to do to get better? But most of us don't understand. You learn from failures, but you also learn from success. And if you don't learn from your successes, it will eventually turn into a failure. So you got to take that into account as well.
And let's also remember that we can let a string of failures also teach us something too. It's going to teach you that you're a failure. You should accept that. Don't fail to accept that you're a failure. If it's just all failures and no success to learn from, it's only failure to learn from. Learn that you're going to continue to fail at things. And maybe try something.
Let me try this out. Yeah, just like them. Yeah, it may not be that you're a failure. It may just be that you're working in the wrong area. You're operating outside of what is your strength.
You're operating up here when you really should be operating down here.
But see, the whole down here, up here thing is true in the sense that in order to get up here, you got to start down here. Most people always want to start at the top, and then they wonder why they're dropping so fast, because you didn't learn the steps that it took to get to the top. If I want to be a supervisor and I'm trying to tell people how to do their job, but I've never done their job, it makes it more difficult. I had people come in and be like, it's like, yo, this is your new director. And I'm looking at this person like, yo, what do they know about what we do? Mm-hmm. But yet you telling me what we don't do well or what we need to change, but you have no clue of what we do. Mm-hmm. I've had directors that started at the bottom and worked their way up, and then when they say, yo, we need to change something, because they've done it. They understand that in this area, this is where we clogging up. So we need to fix that because they've done it. But, and again, and I don't want to knock people that was lucky enough or whatever to get a job at the top. But what you got to be able to do is be able to say, okay, now that I'm at the top, I'm going to take the information from the people that actually do the job before I make decisions of change. If not, you will fail at your job. And your employees will see to it that you failed in some cases. But so again, failure happens at a lot of different levels, but you got to work your way up. Don't be afraid to start at the bottom and work through your process. When you design a process or a goal for yourself, don't be afraid to say, okay, step 1, then do step 1. Step 2, don't go from step 1 to step 8, because there's a lot of steps in there that you're going to mess up, that you're going to skip over and not do, that's going to cause step 9 not to work. Everything there's step 1 for this, but there's also a timeline for it. There's also probably financial implications to it. There's a lot of things that you have to think about when you're trying to build something, even if you're trying to build yourself. Don't skip the steps. Don't skip the process. The process is important if you want to have something that is sustainable. But you can't just skip the steps because it's like, yo, I'm done, man. I'm looking for the shortcut. Shortcut will lead to a short existence. So, you build it up from the ground, build it. Foundation, your foundation has to be strong, has to be solid, so that when things happen, it ain't going nowhere because your foundation is what's solid. But if you keep trying to get to the top and you keep trying to do stuff, skipping steps and not making your foundation solid, you're going to find yourself failing over and over again.
So, people have a question.
Go ahead, people. What's up? No, I love the people. I just want to say I love the people.
This one comes in from someone named Melior.
Melior?
Yeah, his name's Melior.
Melior. What's up, Melior? How you doing, bro?
Yes. Melior wants to know what he should do in the event that he is a failure. He is, in fact, a failure. What are next steps for Melior?
All right, Melior.
Melior.
Yep. All right.
Like failure.
Yeah.
Within them.
Yeah. But let me tell you something, bro. You are not a failure. You are operating in the wrong area to see success. So I need you to stop trying to do whatever it is you're trying to do that's not working and try to do something different. I got faith in you. One, I'm going to change your name to Success. Because I don't want you to be linked to failure with your name as Melior. I want to link it to success. So I'm going to call you Success. So I want you to think of yourself as successful. I want you to think about things that you can actually do. Things that actually work for you. Things that you actually like. You know, one thing I've realized, most people fail at stuff and they ain't even like doing it in the first place. And that's why you fail, because it wasn't a passion.
Your heart wasn't in it.
Huh?
Your heart wasn't in it.
Nah, your heart wasn't in it, your head wasn't in it. And it's like, and so when it started going left, you didn't even work that hard to keep it from going left, because you're like, I don't want to do this anyway. But in reality, you have to find things that you are passionate about. You have to find things that bring you joy. And when you find those things, you will work a little harder to ensure that they don't fail. So that's what you do, bro. Just switch your vision, switch your goals, work towards something else, because you are a success, young fella. I got faith in you. What else we got for the people, man?
we changed somebody's name. Where do we go from there?
Yeah, I will look, and God, God named people, changed people's names too, based off of, like Abram. He ain't had no kids. But God, named him Abraham because he was going to be a father of many. So he had to change the name to match the purpose. So some of y'all need to change your names or get your name changed to match your purpose. Your purpose and your name don't match up. So so Millier. Yeah, you got to get that change, bro.
You changed it already.
Yeah.
Success.
That's right.
Success now.
So that's who you are now. You
are successful.
That's right. I got you. What else we got? Anything else from the people?
No. We have Millier. We got Millier to success.
All right. So
actually, that might be an episode title. Millier to success.
So I want everybody to start thinking, how do I turn my failures into success? And how do you do that? By changing your focus, changing your goal, making sure you work a little harder, making sure that you plan for the success you want. Plan for the success you want. I see this the brother. I think he had his own business. I ain't sure, but he like posts a lot of stuff about how your attitude and the things that you want. You have to, really work toward that in your attitude and have your attitude adjust so that you can reach a certain goal. And I agree with that. But, I think what we do is that we have people too many times that are too comfortable with failure because people will always give them excuses for failing. There is no excuse. Look, failure is something that happened. But I'm not giving you an excuse when I say, yo, you ain't work hard enough. When my kids play sports or in school, if you come home with a B and you was expected to get an A, I'm not cheering you on because you didn't work hard to get the B. You got the B because you smarter enough to get a B. It wasn't because you worked hard or did anything to excel. Or if you couldn't make a jumper and it's like, yo, if you never practice, you don't show up at practice, and then you can't make a jumper, people are like, oh man, that was a good try. No, it wasn't. Because the trying starts in practice, which you don't come to. So you have to work at being a success. You can't just go out there and accept failure and then wait for people to give you an excuse and people might pat you on the back and say, oh, I'd be okay. Everybody get a trophy. No. Because at 5, 10, everybody might be getting a trophy. But in real life, that bonus only going to the best people. You ain't getting no bonus just because you're on the team. You getting a bonus because you excel on the team. So when your boss come and say, yo, we looking to downsize, he ain't downsizing the best people. He gonna downsize you because you were so used to just by getting by. So get that failure mentality out of your mind. Stop thinking so small of yourself and of what you can accomplish. And if you need to find something else to do, go find something else to do. Take a risk. Be a jingle writer. Do what you got to do. Take that risk to be great. I got faith in you. So I hope you got faith in yourself as well. So, Izzo, is there anything we need to tell the people before we get up out of here?
Yeah, tell some friends, tell some friends. Tell some friends.
Okay.
To like and subscribe.
Right.
I think we might be pushing 2 billion.
2 billion. See, and y'all missing out. Some of y'all missing out.
That's off the top of my head.
Because some of y'all not included in that 2 billion.
Facts.
How you gonna not be included in 2 billion? That's crazy.
Yeah, seriously.
Yo, if somebody they like, yo, we got 2 billion, and you ain't that part of that, that means you slipping, bro.
Big facts.
That's why you failing, because you ain't a part of the 2 billion.
It starts there. It starts at home.
Yeah,
honestly.
start at home, people.
It starts at home.
So get it together, like and subscribe, be a part of the team, man. That's growing faster than I don't know what's growing fast. You know anything?
Weeds, tumbleweeds.
No, I'm thinking more in technology.
Growing faster than Bitcoin. Crypto. Yeah,
we're going faster than all that. So,
we got more casual about it. We sounded super unsure. It's growing faster than crypto out here.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, join.
You want to be part of it? Don't miss the wave. Some of y'all missed the.
Yeah, y'all missed the million group.
Yeah.
Y'all missed out, and then y'all missed out on the billion group. You missed out on the 2. Don't miss out on the 3.
Miss out on the 3.
That's embarrassing.
Come on.
It says that says a lot about you. I'm just saying.
It says more about you than we ever could.
That's right. And we can say some stuff about you.
We could say something.
But we don't want to do it because we don't want to hurt your fragile,
And I've already been deterred away from calling you a failure.
Yeah. So, we don't call you that. And we understand a lot of y'all fragile, so we want to make sure we don't say stuff about you. But don't miss out on that $3 billion. Be a part of the 3 billion, people.
Be there or be square.
All right, on. So we about to get up out of here. I hope you guys got something out of this. Remember, don't stay in your failure. Build yourself back up and go in a different direction.
Unless you can't, because you might be a failure.
Failure is an event. It's not your identity. And with that, we gonna get up out of here. So I'd like to tell y'all, thanks for listening. We'll holler at you again soon. Peace.
Remember, he is Rob. I just look like I'm gotta go bye.
Studio. We in the studio. We in the studio. With Rob in the studio. In the studio. In the studio. Catch a vibe. In the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. With Rob. We in the studio. In the studio. We in the studio. Catch a vibe. Yeah, I'm in the studio with Rob. I need to make the heat flicker. Is alone and only thing can make a Rico beat sicker. So listen and get your wisdom. Gemstones on your head. Good with the OG like Flintstones. Good in bed. Been living a long time and he got something to say. Depending on how you feeling, dog, you might got something to pray. This type of influence that you ain't gotta filter through your liver. We in the studio with Rob. Come let the heat rock simmer.